Wike and his game of self-destruct. Welcome to the news and please subscribe to our channel. To get notified when we post our juicy news update, please click on the notification bell. Since the emergence of Atiku Abubakar as the People's Democratic Party (PDP) presidential candidate in the forthcoming general elections, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, who lost the contest, has always been in the news, and for the wrong reasons. When he is not criticizing the party leadership, he is attacking its presidential candidate or romancing with the position or persecuting Atiku's loyalists. It is more than a game of musical chairs. As some analysts put it, it is a game of self-destruct. Obviously, he thinks that he is getting the limelight, but unknown to him, he received the backlash sooner than he expected. Wike is not the only one that has lost presidential primaries in history, and that is why it is surprising that he has refused to accept reality as a Democrat that he claims to be. Rotimi Amechi, his predecessor, lost the All Progressive Congress primaries despite his enormous contributions to the party, but like an intelligent man that he is, he has moved on. But the implacable Wike has refused to be comforted, and by his utterances and action he has shown that he is a bad loser. The worst in the history of Nigerian politics, he has shown that he is never a Democrat. Regrettably, he thinks he can advance his political interest and future by destabilizing the People's Democratic Party, the platform that launched him into limelight, but he forgot the lessons of history. Treachery always leads to failure and regret. He has exhibited the attitude of selfish politician who feels it is either me or no other. It also portrays him as a compulsive liar. He declared after the primary that he was not going to be anybody's running mate, but got infuriated when Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State was picked ahead of him. He said that he has no problem with Atiku or Okowa, but he is fighting and antagonizing all Atiku's allies and supporters in Rivers State. He revoked Raymond Dokpesi property in Port Harcourt, destroyed Atiku billboard, and sealed his campaign office in Port Harcourt. Wike uses very available medium to denigrate the party and its presidential flag bearer. Undoubtedly, Wike has Wike uses every medium to denigrate the party and its presidential flag bearer. Undoubtedly, Wike has false notion of leadership. He personalizes the government. He feels as governor of the state, everybody should do his bidding. This is delusional. He is not aware that the position he occupies now is temporary. Many have been there before him and many will come after him. Wike is a typical example of a do-or-die politician, practicing politics with bitterness. He believes in political enemies. He declares after attacking Atiku allies in the state that if we see you associate with our enemies, we will leave our enemies and fight you. This is petty and crude, coming from a state governor who is assumed to have tasted leadership at a high level and goes to show that Wike lacks leadership attributes, and so the People's Democratic Party leadership was right to have rejected him at the primaries. Admittedly, Wike and his gang were exhibiting the crudeness associated with the Nigerian politics, by the grandstanding, pretending to be fighting for equity, but with selfish motive. The average Nigerian politician does not believe in real issues. He pursues personal agenda, and when he fails in his inordinate ambition, he tries to whip up sentiments by playing the ethnic or religious card. Those in the South who are misled into thinking that Wike is fighting for the interest of the region never bothered to ask if the former People's Democratic Party chairman, Uche Secondus, whom Wike removed, is from the north. They never bothered to ask how a man who claims to be fighting for equity and integrity had to upturn the zoning formula in his state to become governor after a fellow Ikwere man, Rotimi Amechi, and are never interested to know whether this is the first time that a party chairman and the presidential candidate or president come from the same region. As I've observed in the past, people like Wike do not believe in dialogue or win-win. They're always rigid and fixated. The only language they understand is force, nuisance, value, and sanction. If the party had wielded the big stick, Wike's nuisance would have been controlled. The party can exist and survive without Wike. The party prosecuted the Osun State gubernatorial election and won without his input. The party has been carrying on with his electioneering without him and will win without his input, inshallah. He was not there when the party was formed, and whatever he has been in the past 22 years was through the instrumentality of the People Democratic Party. I must state unequivocally here that Wike lacks decorum, discipline, and the genteel attitude of a statesman. His rash braggadocio attitude is portraying him as a tout and a militant. It is always the case when people get what they do not expect or deserve in life. It may get into their heads. Wike has shown that he never deserves the position he now occupies. He is a megalomaniac that is blinded by ephemeral political office. Wike is the proverbial bird in Achebe's Things Fall Apart, who after a heavy meal challenged his chi to a wrestling convert. Wike thinks that he owns the People Democratic Party and must decide what happens in the party, but when he fails, he refuses to be placated. How can a man who claims he rescued the People Democratic Party from collapse want to describe the same party that he claimed he built? His anti-party activity, especially his romance with the All Progressive Congress (APC), is proof that Wike is a desperate politician, an opportunist and a sinking personality who is willing to do anything to salvage his career. But unknown to him, he is on the road to political oblivion. The sum total of all this is that Wike has failed, for he and his disgruntled gang cannot stop the People Democratic Party or Nigeria from moving forward. He should swallow his pride, apologize to the party hierarchy. Otherwise, he is inevitably on the road to political abyss. Haja Mohammed writes from London, UK. Okay, now, let me say this. I am not against, yes, it is true. What is said about Wike is true. But PDP is not without fault. PDP is not without what? Fault. If you're going to point an accusing finger at Wike, you also point an accusing finger at the People Democratic Party. Both of them are guilty here. And me, I feel both parties should understand that, okay, this deed has been done. For you to even come out and start saying, Wike was angry when his fellow, when his Southerner, became the running mate that he said he will not be a running mate. It is because, first of all, and first and foremost, last year, or how many years ago? Last year, they did an agreement and said no Southerner is going to take that position, on which Okawa was the host. So he was right to get angry. I'm not interested in PDP wahala. They can solve their issues, but I'm saying if Wike is going to be accused, as being childish or petty or whichever English he used, the PDP too should be accused of not even wanting equity or justice. All right, on this note, we've come to the end of the news. To say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time.